Because today, you're going to see something crazy. Strange noise coming from the door. Make people think. Looks like they're ahead of you. The sound of running hind acupressure shook the earth and sky. A group of people dressed in black appeared. They are all people of God. A leader with a face on his back. He screamed out loud and smashed them. When he heard his servant's orders, he said, "Yes, brother." The battle becomes intense. Everyone is flying. The enemy's feet were steady, as if ready to fight. He is about to draw his sword. Everyone inside the campus, be prepared to take on the enemy. White sky announces to everyone, they're here. First, there are 3 names. I just finished with the enemy without hesitation. Keep your head up, like an arrow has found its target. The midstream soared up like the wind. He and his wife are ready to fight the bad guys. The middle buttocks used the power of the inner. Put force into the hand. One shot made all 3 enemies fly away. Everyone is in the grave, smelly with the stormy power of the middle butt. White sky thinking in the belly. You alone have eaten all 3 of them. He praised the power of his brother. You are a monster. In the ass, he is still confused because he has not used all his strength. Where did the enemy go? He said in a disdainful voice, or just let them in and fight. It seems a little bit small. Martial artists are rolling to the ground. They painfully hugged their heads. What just hit? We only see something white. My feet are a little scared. He thinks all 3. They didn't see their attack. It's ridiculous. If the power of those in Kier, how many times stronger than we are? Fortunately, this can happen. Some people know how to use the devil. It's a strange trick that other people don't think about. He reached out his hand and said aloud, "Follow me, brothers." Because we don't know what trap they're setting. So we'll take the lead and break that trap. They fluttered their feet like kites to the wind and rushed in. People turned the sword. I want to break down the closed door. One shot is to eat the door that popped open. There's not a shred of armor left. They set their feet nicely. Is the trap of the feet of the illusory-looking West. A voice comes out. Why are you destroying your own game? I didn't lock the gate. These days, there are no rules. Chinese cotton flickering pointed hands, strange facial expressions look at them. Feet delusion focus on observing the static. In front of him is a picture of your ass. We've arranged enough. There are only so many lives. You want to confront the martial arts students that we are. You guys are overconfident. And we don't know. It's called confidence or hubris. Yo-Won said quietly, this guy's expression and speech just feel familiar, as if you heard it somewhere. Smiling, he said to Bak-Thin, it sounds like the old days. The white sky near the voice replied, shut up. He laughed loudly in the middle of the battle. What's wrong with your feet? What is a comfortable attitude? I didn't know you had that confidence. Where is Ra? Ever since. Flowers are always at the bottom door compared to martial arts. Is that now? You have the confidence to face us. I hope it doesn't sound too good to ask again. What's AI at the foot of AI? 100 years ago, you've got to smell our feet. He didn't get his brain ready 100 years ago, right? It's the age of tomorrow that you're always proud of. But do you know? Tomorrow will be your proud sword. Has lost miserably under the extreme hand of the Sword Emperor of Vo. We don't. What the fuck does your ass look like? Ha 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 ha. From the reaction, you don't seem to know. At the same time, these two have been. And tomorrow Hoa swordsman was defeated miserably by the Tai Kai Sword Emperor. But Tai Kai is generous. He hid the results of the match to protect the honor of Cho My Hoa swordsman. It's about the same size as paint, whether it was 100 years ago or now. It is also absolutely not an opponent of Vo. Yawan and Chun Cotton angrily swinging ants indiscriminately. How dare you speak ill of him? That's too much. The same goes for the white sky, he said loudly. He is not a man that you can speak freely. My face is silent. Lord, make tomorrow the flower to honor it. Let's be kind to these guys. He said who won. Tai Sword Soul Sao, a name that only needs to see my face. I want to ride back to heaven. It's true that we compared that snub arrow. He said that even if he died, he wouldn't make it public. So we didn't tell the AI the end result. He remembered his previous life when he fought the old man. He used to speak as the same Taoist. I will tell you, the path of a true believer. Don't blame my sword for being unintentional. Think for yourself what you have done. The middle buttocks were 4 to 50 years younger than him. He was as strong as a tiger. But you still calmly drink. Finally, give him a good fight. He has to get on his knees. I acknowledge your power more. I know my strength is lacking, so I will retreat. I didn't say I was going to retreat. Stop your hands. We're talking about fighting like this. You're not a priest. Father, please spare my life. Since that time, every time I come near you, we all call him the robber. I used his money to rent the top floor of the dead floor and drink the most expensive wine. He is my good brother. It's much older than it really is. No matter what, why do they distort history? Is it because no AI knows or sees anything? Whether it's the Greys or the Kier. The nostalgic Chinese finished saying seriously. Maybe this was 100 years ago. I'm standing behind cheering for you. Even if they are rotten. They're all dead, kids. But people like that are martial arts. Suddenly, he shouted out loud. The guy shot me, yes. Have you done what I asked you to do? The chief replied quietly, that's a rumor. First, we've spread the word to everyone in Indonesia. The middle buttocks speak a bit savage good talk. Take out the sword on your back. Throw a line in front of the opponent, creating a hurricane. The weak are falling down. Only the fever is stable. He's got a spooky leg on his side. SAO wire has the crack of the back brick. When did the tiles on the eaves break? To fall is to drop to the floor. The whole gate suddenly fell. And then most of the people of Indonesia were surrounded. From the moment, they whisper, "Put your sword on your shoulder and talk." The people watching. I love to play like this. Brother, you want to fix them? Do Gold replied, there are about 3 Chun cotton names. So the year of giving the master 4 names must be fine. Jesus did not answer, but nodded. The white angel urged me to worry about that name. White heaven asked me why. I need to get out of the way, brother. Chinese cotton reached out and laughed. Let's go. Master Liu Kai. Brothers too. White Sky helplessly said, it looks like something is coming back. The opponents are the students. This will be a good opportunity. Let us prove it. What we've trained in the last few years. Come on, people. Let's show them the spring flower's sword. And everyone agrees. They attack at the same time. My feet reacted quickly. Let them see the power of the sword. The 2 factions immediately faced off. The outcome of this battle is far from clear. U1 calculation. Most of the people with swords are here. They've been trying for the last 2 years to nurture ourselves. But among them, has anyone experienced 2 years of hardship? As the disciples of Hua Sect, and we don't. Probably not. That crazy guy, we used all possible methods at the same time to urge us. But I thought, you just need to be strong, no matter how hard the training is. We can also endure. But that arrogant thought soon flew by the spring wind, only after the meeting ended about 2 months. Are we going to die? Maybe I died and woke up. Break down all that is there. And then it's that hard to rebuild. But will this training ever end? Can we stick to the end? Let's work hard to see how strong we are. Is my choice the right one? Our bodies are so tired that we can't stop doubting. But that, we can't run away. I've endured all that time. 2 years of training with the buttocks are accumulated in my flesh and my sword. I see the power of the person in front of me. Sword holding position. It's also about looking at the balance of the body. I want to criticize all of that. We can win. This guy is not my opponent. Yogel's eyes were filled with energy. Look directly into the eyes of the opponent. The sound of the air sword reached my heart. The post-production of the Sword of Vo is never in a hurry. Use a steady spirit to receive the opponent's sword and tame it. He is using this sword to sit in the position of the world, the first sword. There's a way to beat that sword. Just be faster than it is. Water can put out the fire, but if you meet a bigger fire, then it'll evaporate. Each of the Vo is falling asleep at the feet of Hua Sect disciples. Chan Cotton humbly unconsciously recognized they are so small. It's too slow. The road to victory is within reach. Vo disciples are horrified cannot be. I couldn't defeat a mountain disciple. That's for sure. Chun Cotton finished speaking clearly every word. Swordsmanship of friends is also in DTO, but it's just the time that we've spent differently. They've been unconscious ever since, and their eyes are white. The floating cradle has been dealt with by the sword of two spies. One looked at the brother with a wink. It's too strong. Chun Cotton smiled and nodded. Suddenly feel the fire burning behind you. Me. His middle ass with unsightly facial expressions is speaking in a sly voice. My brother committed a mistake 3 times. Chinese brother 4 times. Next time, the brothers will die. Chinese Cotton does not answer silently thinking. Next time, you have to listen to this guy anyway. Though, in the last battle, I was sure. Hoa Sun's sword is too strong. Now is the time not just for them. The whole world must know this truth. He was surprised to see their performance. You think they're much less human, but you can still win the fight. Martial arts is one of the major factions in Gypsy, but 7 single failures. It's so simple. Call out to your father. And you're immersed in that performance. They are too strong. My heart is filled with emotion. I can't believe they did that. Hoa Sun has excavated. Hoa Sun disciples have made great progress. The buttocks holding the wine bottle turned down and said, "Would you like a drink?" He is tired of aesthetics and this 10 long. This has never happened before. You told the chief. Your brothers are fighting out there. You can still drink. You calmly said, no matter what level they are, we know. That, I've taught them how they can lose. You don't believe me. He only teaches the Kier Sao brothers. People are still fighting each other very dramatically. No one is subdued. The fool's foot was also knocked out. He's panting, thinking too hard. Why are these paints so strong? The white man stood up and told you to follow. He told me. Vo is now weak. Looks like you want to show up here. He still breathes and says nothing. His eyes were filled with anger. He told them to go ahead and ask what they were doing. He screamed and stood there until he came up and killed them. Yeah, the whole bunch of people they're swooping in. Chun Cotton and Yo Gold were surrounded by their men. It's the same with the white sky. Now, on the floor, all of you are standing. You said it was true that the studio still refused to accept it. I don't think martial artists have to do this now. You think you have it all. The mountain will be 7 stars. He hugged me thinking, fuck this. If you win, you're not proud to be happy. A one-on-one battle with him. We must win. Take back the face of Vo. He took a breath and said, you are strong, I admit it. But the Kier name does not fight. So you despise the martial arts who are sending us? The buttocks still don't care to sit there. I just drank a little out of wine. White Heaven told you to think about where to go. With your level, then he doesn't have to be involved. When an opponent is worthy, he fights. What did he get mad about saying? I laughed and said you were mad. Because we can't influence him either. There are a lot of things in life that are hard to explain. A chicken with 3 legs, a snake with 2 tails, can have 1. So it's normal for someone to have 3 heads and 6 hands. He asked the first 6 questions. You don't have to think much. Your opponent is me. Hoa main sword fight immortal sword. There's nothing like that. And you're up against Hoa's son, Tan Long. It doesn't seem right. He came screaming at this bastard. Martial arts is looking for illusory feat. I still think calmly. I've heard his name many times. That's one of the young disciples. The most powerful in Vo is. If there is no flower last time, the god Kim Long must have. Out among young people, there's a sound on the bridge. The sword has changed. Can understand. Kim Long and Vo are doing the same thing. Powerful attack towards the white sky. He is also quite strong in his own way. Looking at the martial arts like a flying silk ribbon, floating aimlessly, it's impossible to guess. Now I understand. Why is he famous? In a row of 5 young misfits. But in reality, he's only there. Here I am. The sword can also make the flower bloom tomorrow. He also used his sword. He panicked to me. A series of passing shadows attacked him. The sword is very well developed. My Hoa 7 sword. It's a poetic scene. My Hoa sword play. He ate that magic sword. He fell with just 1 move. The audience also exclaimed, there are even flowers coming tomorrow. Drunk ass also laughed. You can tell. The power of the sword itself. White Angel pushed a good fight. With Chun Cotton, wait. Why did you come to me? We are the weakest. God S-word says, you can fight. But you should also try the second strongest. He said the second strongest is AI. Just go over there and tell me if you can see it. Jesus is also beating the martial artists. He's afraid to think that the movement isn't flawed. The sword fluttered like a dance. I found out there was another one coming. He cuts like you did. He was surprised that you were so fast. With just a kick, he bounced back. The people outside are afraid to fight. The white sky says, are you still going to fight, or SAO? Martial arts is already 7 defeat. If you don't take the injured person for treatment, there will be murder. The work here is not so much that you leave your fellow disciples behind. That brother. Take the injured to the hospital. Then leave Indonesia to Vo is sending. You said it loud and clear, we won. The disciples are also leaving the ring. You let me help. They gave up and helped my teammates to heal. They said we lost here today. The power is not equal. You said, from now on, you can't touch the flowers anymore. You have lost 7. Do not go into the car next time and bring shame. Marshal is. Go back, tell them. Audience uttered. Hoa Sen has restarted SAO. This is real SAO. They've won. Vo is protecting the art. Then the flower is the tradition of the flower. Of course, they protect the image. You go to the people you want to talk to. The master did not make you 7. The photo is safe now. He was moved by tears. He clasped his hands. On behalf of the photo, I really appreciate the heart of the mountain. You didn't care about the danger. You protected the flower. We thank you. I also close my hands. The owner is too talkative. This is the paint job we should do. It's not just you, it's your peers. He couldn't help but cry. My ass is so drunk that it's touching. The peaceful scene after the storm. The cheers of Wei Mong raged in the night. All the time devoted to paint flowers. You've finally been rewarded. Congratulations to Master Wei. Congratulations to me like this. Thank you. He was relentlessly hospitable. They laughed and said, and then together we left waving the fox from the master's prayer. He stood with his hands folded. This day has finally come. The one I thought was dead. It's now resurfaced brilliantly. That guy's traveled 1,000 miles. Come here to help us. He stood silently thinking, staring at the empty land. The exit filled with large black gravel. He raised his face to the sky with his mouth shut. The moon is shining down today. His father's words were not wrong. Suddenly, something made him stare. In a nearby house making noise. Looks like that place. These are the heroes who protect the flower. Maybe this time, their mood is also very happy with this merit. And I'm excited to drink. He pondered. Wei subject master turns his feet. You're going to apologize to them. You didn't trust them before. And couldn't bear to be angry with them. He stepped forward boldly. Step on the steps. I want to talk to them about the future of paint. Out. I'm going to have a few more drinks to enjoy. The screaming noise inside the house was loud. His hands opened the door. I'm sure you've been waiting for a long time. His face was suddenly stiff. It's not as fun to talk to as usual. They're constantly screaming and cursing. Stop, what are you going to do, boy? In the room is a messy scene. Dishes full of goat rice on the wooden floor. One by one LAN crawled everywhere. Everyone is dying noisily. Especially the middle ass. He's running through the doors all over the room. The Yogin quickly ran and Theo grabbed his leg. You use the pop-out force to turn you upside down. White sky panic reassuring. Calm down and think about it. Martial arts is also leaving. We don't have to get to this level. His feet clinging to the wooden floor. He went on to explain that it was over. So now we can go back to the mountain. The director also gave instructions. We can't cause any more trouble. This boy, please. You can adjust your sleeves. Middle cotton reset cap part. Tell them it's right. The work of the brothers and sisters is done. You don't have to worry about this. Although, I'm not happy with everyone's fight. Like we won, so we just let it go. Except for Brother Gold. When I heard his face burn. Why is it just me? Middle cotton pull part mask. You are serious as a warning. From now on, it's my job. And then he soared up on the opposite roof. How long has it been cool? In fact, inside you're still alive. Smiling without any dignity. Eyes closed. You keep turning on high, create huge jets, and launch from the front door straight into the sky. Everyone in the house panicked and laid flat on the floor. Everything inside is cracked and broken. Everyone is spraying glue. Stunned and panicked, looking out at the broken door. The master looked at Theo in bewilderment. Fire, Colonel. He sweated his face and turned his eyes to them. He thought in his heart, Father, there seems to be something wrong. A group of people walking on the ground. They're moving on the cliffs. Dressed in black. There are 2 horses. The car above is that AI body lying on its back in the sky. His eyes opened slowly. He dreamt he didn't know where this was. The man next to him looked over and asked his brother, Did you hear me? They're on their way back. He is and still is not out of the mountain. I woke up and asked how the job was. Suddenly, he hugged his aching chest tightly. He remembered the scene. Bok Thin Lao's angry face. To my side. I finally remember you being silent. Your hands are still tight on your shirt. Thinking about losing the battle. When asked about the state of the city, others say that he told them to leave before tomorrow morning. Because that person took the honor of the Shen Ra foot requests, so. He hesitated. Shu Yen feet crouched roar. My face has smeared rice husk ash on the name, Vo is already. Even though you've used it shameful way. In front of a lot of people. But the result, still not only did it not achieve the public's goal to enter that place, it is also damaging the reputation of Vo. He's pissed at you. That's right. The point is to get a strain. He called out his feet and turned around dazed. You ask now. Let him return to his duties immediately. And report the situation here. They can't go back now without a plan. So the rest has to be here. I love him and wait for his instructions. A shadow of a man standing over the cliff. Look down and speak. There's no need to do that. They looked up in panic. That person is the unstoppable. He looked down in fascination at his majestic appearance. His big muscular legs plummeted to the ground. The first disciple of Vo is immortal. Holding the most quintessential martial arts of Vo is. He is one of the 3 strongest martial artists. You look like you're full of gas. Lu slowly walked towards them. They don't know, because Sao had his presence in Indonesia. Right now. He spoke. You seem to be wondering why I'm here. He is now a disgruntled master. So he told me to come. They looked dumbfounded. It seems that the master's wisdom is not wrong. You are under total attack. The number of people from Hoa Shandong is twice as many as Sab, or have the support of another faction. Finished listening to the question, they all looked down timidly, unable to look at him directly. My feet and my lips looked down. The sky is quiet this night, is not dark. Not too much Sao. Martial arts teacher, Husham, even though I bet my honor. But still can't win. Your feet are as if they are in a hurry. But compared to my honor, he gave you. Your honor belongs only to you. He continued, don't make a mistake. If you act cowardly, the world does not curse you. He will curse the vow. That? It's no different than getting your name dirty. I don't understand why. When he finished listening, he bowed his face. He can be reassured. It doesn't matter what time it is. We gave up Indonesia. He panicked. It was like this. Then we're going to skip Indonesia and headed straight for the sword strain, he re-emphasized. As Siano hugging chest part explained, but not. We don't know the exact location of the sword. That's why we need the ocean. Foot high, and when I found out the location of the sword. I blinked in surprise. He said 7 defeats is a disgrace. There will be plenty of opportunities to wash away the shame. Compared to the big thing that we have to do, then it's just a triviality. So just stay calm. According to the announcement, support from the guru is coming soon. So the AIs have serious injuries. Then we have to go back to the forest. Those who are not injured follow the instructions. They hurriedly followed the asteroid seemed assured. Just look for strains. This is an insult to you. You can pay it off as much as you want. I asked the magician if he could go. Please assess your own situation. If you can't go because of love is nothing to be ashamed of. Dap, you can go. I will absolutely not cause trouble to anyone. He sighed for a breath, or you can follow me. Suddenly, he looked the other way. He stood still for a moment, facing up the mountain. Silently observe. The leaves fall down. You seem to have discovered something above. The teacher shouted loudly, "Show up." A black shadow loomed from behind the tree's branches. Body middle buttocks appearance. So I looked at them like a flash of light. He gave you black. He disappeared off the cliff. He landed in front of them. Slowly, he stood up, and the smoke filled his surroundings. The teacher stared. He cringed, his face silently watching. His red ass stared at him. He's faking insanity, faking insanity. Casting innocent. I am the one who accidentally passed by. We can ask one thing. What is a non-monosodium? A silent space. Feet illusory observer. Your head is full of questions. A robber accidentally walks by Sao. He just said he stole it. In the middle of a mountain like this. You asked if he wasn't a thief. Chu asked, so stupid, Theo. When you turn around, you're a thief. This makes the AI spray, thinking he's crazy. They observed the sword of the middle butt. The flower written on it is tomorrow. This flower is the flower of the mountain. Is the madman of Hoa Sun sent me to ponder. When it comes to the dragon flower, middle buttock stupefied, surprised, stuttering. In the end, he let his true identity be revealed. Feet puffed out loud. I thought that even though Sao was a disciple of the painting, or at least a man of honor, you are not ashamed. The ass continues to be stubborn. I told you it wasn't. He picked his ears and whispered something. So much so that everyone listens. Pretend not to recognize it. It's not very intentional. The fire is as good as the enemy. You are not a thief, you are a thief. The West drum turns the speaker. That's right, you're not a disciple of the mountain. In front of me is not